Imagine a world where the mere presence of a firearm in your home could mean the difference between life and death. Picture the quiet, suburban neighborhood, where a sudden, inexplicable noise shatters the calm of the night, and the only thing standing between your family and an unknown threat is the right enshrined in your nation's constitution. Consider the bustling city streets where danger can lurk around any corner, and the ability to defend oneself isn't just a right but a necessity. This isn't just a tale of historical legacy or political debate, it's a story of personal survival, liberty, and the fundamental human right to safety. What if your right to bear arms was suddenly stripped away? How would that change your sense of security, your freedom, your very way of life? Join me as we explore why this right is not just a relic of the past, but a vital component of our present and future. The right to bear arms is a cornerstone of personal freedom and self-defense, deeply rooted in the traditions and constitutional framework of many democratic societies. This right, enshrined in the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, is often a subject of intense debate. However, the fundamental reasons for its preservation are compelling and multifaceted. This essay will argue that the right to bear arms should remain intact, emphasizing historical, legal, and practical perspectives. Historical context and constitutional foundation. The right to bear arms is embedded in the history and fabric of many nations, particularly the United States. The Second Amendment, adopted in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, states, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed." This right was established in the context of the American Revolution, where colonial militias played a crucial role in securing independence from British rule. The framers of the Constitution, influenced by Enlightenment thinkers and their own experiences, believed that an armed citizenry was a bulwark against tyranny. Personal security and self-defense. One of the most compelling arguments for the right to bear arms is the fundamental human right to self-defense. In a world where threats to personal safety can arise unexpectedly, having the means to protect oneself and one's family is crucial. Firearms provide individuals with a powerful tool to defend against criminals and other dangers. While law enforcement agencies strive to maintain public safety, they cannot be omnipresent. In critical moments, the ability to defend oneself can mean the difference between life and death. Numerous instances highlight how firearms in the hands of law-abiding citizens have prevented crimes and saved lives. For example, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) has conducted studies indicating that defensive gun uses by victims are at least as common as offensive uses by criminals, with estimates ranging from 500,000 to over 3 million incidents per year in the United States. These statistics underscore the practical importance of the right to bear arms for personal security. Deterrence against crime. The presence of armed citizens can serve as a significant deterrent to crime. Criminals are less likely to target individuals or homes where they know there is a potential for armed resistance. This deterrent effect extends beyond individual self-defense to broader community safety. Studies have shown that jurisdictions with higher rates of gun ownership often experience lower rates of certain types of crime, such as burglary and assault. For instance, research by economist John Locke, author of More Guns, Less Crime, suggests that states with shall issue concealed carry laws have seen reductions in violent crime rates. While correlation does not imply causation, and other factors may contribute to these trends, the data support the notion that an armed populace can dissuade criminal activity. Protection of civil liberties. The right to bear arms is intrinsically linked to the protection of other civil liberties. An armed citizenry can act as a check on government overreach and potential tyranny. This principle was vividly illustrated during the American Revolution and remains relevant today. While modern democratic institutions provide numerous safeguards against authoritarianism, the potential for government abuse of power still exists. An armed populace serves as a final line of defense, ensuring that citizens have the means to resist should their rights be threatened. Historical examples abound where disarmed populations were subjected to oppression and atrocities. The disarmament of civilians often precedes acts of genocide and mass persecution, as seen in the cases of Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, and other totalitarian regimes. By maintaining the right to bear arms, societies can prevent the concentration of unchecked power in the hands of a few. Economic considerations. The firearms industry is a significant contributor to the economy, generating billions of dollars in revenue and providing jobs for hundreds of thousands of people. According to the National Shooting Sports Foundation, NSSF, the firearms and ammunition industry in the United States supports approximately 312,000 jobs and generates an economic impact of over $60 billion annually. This includes manufacturing, retail sales, and various ancillary services. Moreover, hunting and shooting sports are popular recreational activities that contribute to the economy through related expenditures on equipment, travel, and tourism. These activities not only provide enjoyment and relaxation for millions of people but also support conservation efforts through taxes and fees allocated to wildlife management and habitat preservation. Respect for individual rights and liberties. At its core, the argument for the right to bear arms is rooted in the respect for individual rights and liberties. In a free society, individuals should have the autonomy to make decisions about their own safety and defense. This extends to the choice of owning firearms. Imposing blanket restrictions on gun ownership infringes on personal freedom and autonomy, treating citizens as incapable of responsible decision-making. The principle of individual responsibility is paramount. Law-abiding citizens who choose to own firearms are overwhelmingly responsible and conscientious. They undergo background checks, comply with regulations, and often seek training to ensure the safe handling and use of their weapons. Punishing these responsible individuals for the actions of a criminal minority is both unjust and ineffective. Addressing misconceptions and myths. The debate over gun rights is often clouded by misconceptions and myths. One common argument against the right to bear arms is the notion that more guns lead to more violence. However, this simplistic view fails to account for the complex social, economic, and cultural factors that contribute to crime. Countries with high rates of gun ownership, such as Switzerland and Finland, have relatively low rates of gun violence, demonstrating that the relationship between gun ownership and violence is not straightforward. Additionally, the portrayal of firearms as inherently dangerous overlooks the reality that millions of gun owners use their weapons safely and responsibly every day. Accidents and misuse are tragic but represent a small fraction of gun-related incidents. Comprehensive education and training programs can further reduce these occurrences, promoting a culture of safety and responsibility. International perspectives and comparisons. Examining international perspectives on gun rights provides valuable insights into the importance of this issue. While some countries have implemented strict gun control measures, others have embraced more permissive policies with varying results. For example, Canada, with its relatively high rate of gun ownership, has lower rates of gun violence compared to countries with stringent gun control laws. Furthermore, international human rights frameworks recognize the right to self-defense. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948, affirms the right to life, liberty, and security of person. This encompasses the right to protect oneself from harm, including through the use of firearms if necessary. Final thoughts: upholding a fundamental right. In conclusion, the right to bear arms is a fundamental liberty that should be preserved and respected. It is deeply rooted in historical context, enshrined in constitutional principles, and essential for personal security and self-defense. The presence of armed citizens deters crime, protects civil liberties, and supports economic activity. Respecting individual rights and addressing misconceptions about gun ownership are crucial in maintaining this essential freedom. As societies continue to grapple with issues of violence and security, it is imperative to strike a balance that respects the rights of law-abiding citizens while addressing legitimate concerns about public safety. Rather than imposing blanket restrictions that infringe on individual liberties, policymakers should focus on targeted measures that enhance safety and responsibility among gun owners. By doing so, we can uphold the right to bear arms while fostering a safer and more secure society for all.